What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another video. As you guys should know by now, it is day 5 out of 22 days straight of letting God use us in the Bible plan called Trusting God's Plan in the Waiting. Again, we're on day 5. If you haven't already, make sure you go back and watch the other videos. And maybe you found this video from Master and the Man, which again is my big hub of information and video content, or you found this from my new channel, Master in the Faith. Either way, we're glad to have you. Hope you like, share, subscribe, and join the Master family, because again, we're dropping videos every day for 22 days straight. Trusting God, trusting God, waiting on God to do something in these 22 days that we've never even dreamed possible. So again, welcome to day 5. Make sure you guys watch to the end of the video. We're going to read a devotional, read a verse that goes along with the devotional, and then if you're interested in joining our group chat discussion on the devotion, make sure you hit the link below. Join the Bible plan. It doesn't matter if you're late, it's okay. Join the Bible plan, or you can just get in the comments and we can have a discussion right there in the comments. But join the Bible plan, meet people, meet God's children, network, and get different insights on what people are reading and the things that are sticking out to different people. That's how you grow. That's how you learn. But again, let's get straight into it. Day 5. I'm not going to try to make this video too long. So as you already know, we're going to read. Let's get into it. There will be an overlay and questions that go along with the devotion. Make sure you screenshot the questions so you can have time to really think and meditate on them and give your insight. All right, so let's get straight into it. Day 5. It says, "Run, Joseph, run." Tune in today as we watch a true life dramatic series, The Young and the Relentless. Our star is handsome, well-built Joseph, now the head of Potiphar's house. The leading lady is Potiphar's hot and bothered wife. In true soap opera fashion, this married woman takes a keen liking to Joseph. On one particular day, she asks him to come to bed with her, and this ain't no pillow fight. Joseph tells her that his master will withheld nothing from him except her. Look closely at the real reason Joseph doesn't want to sleep with her. How could I do such a wicked thing and sin against God? He could have caved in and slept with her. But this true master was not Potiphar, nor Mrs. Potiphar, but God. Day after day she begs him to sleep with her, and day after day he refuses. One day Joseph is inside the house and no one else is around. Mrs. Relentless sees the opportunity to have Joseph all to herself. When he refuses again, she grabs his cloak. Wouldn't you know a coat gets Joseph into trouble yet again, even though it's not his fault? He runs out of the door and she screams. After all, she could be humiliated by the slave. Potiphar comes home to his wife accusing their servant of sexual assault. He's angry. He may have believed his wife, but here's another point of view to consider. It probably was not much of a secret around the household that Mrs. Potiphar was daily making moves on Joseph. Do you think Potiphar could be angry because he's now forced to get rid of his best employee? Notice for such a heinous crime, Potiphar only throws Joseph into jail, one designated for Pharaoh's officials. He could have executed Joseph and Potiphar chooses not to, and my guess is because deep down inside he knew Joseph's true character. We can learn several things from how Joseph handled this daily temptation. Run from temptation. Maintain your purity at all costs. Set wise boundaries with people. Please God, not man. When you are waiting, it's so easy to cut corners. You may be tempted to think no one is watching or will care, or it won't really hurt you or anyone else, or it's no big deal to God. But those are all lies. Sin always has consequences. Although many times it's hard to do the right thing, especially when no one is looking, God sees everything. He will reward you when you obey. We'll see, yet again, that this setback in Joseph's life was not another step closer to fulfilling God's purpose in his life. Questions for today. What temptations are you facing right now as you are waiting for your dream? Are there compromises you have made in the waiting? Why do you think Joseph declared he'll be sinning against God and not against Potiphar's wife? So let's get straight into it with the first one. What temptations are you facing right now as you are waiting for your dream? I think for me, and again, we've talked about what my dream is. My dream is to grow and connect, with people, with God's children through YouTube, grow God's kingdom, gain the subscribers, gain the community, gain the following, so that the message can just be spread outright. And I think it's hard sometimes because you want to do what's popular, right? You want to do the things that you know we're going to hit, you know we're going to connect with the world. And when you're making faith based content, when you're pursuing a life that is pleasing to God, that is the last thing you can do. You can't make stuff that is going to be pleasing to the world, but instead you need to make stuff that is pleasing to God. So I know that whether I'm the only one that ever sees this video, or whether 10 people, 100 people, 1,000 people see this video, if you strip all that away, this video is honoring God and his story and the things that he does in our lives. And I can be happy with that, and I can be okay with that. So I think when it comes down to temptations, it's hard to really just stay consistent. You want to do things fast. You want results overnight. You want things to happen when you want them to happen. But ultimately, it's God's timing and not our own. And that's just a lesson that you have to remember and understand as you're, chasing anything that God has for you. You have to remember that if God made it for you, it's already yours. You just have to wait on God's timing. Are there compromises you have made in the waiting? Um, I think for a long time I was putting off making a new channel because I didn't really want to start over. To me it was, oh well, my other channel was monetized. I want to be able to get paid and create off of my monetized channel, right? I don't want to have a channel that's brand new, that's starting from scratch. My goal was to make money off of YouTube. So that was a compromise. I said, you know what, I will create content and I will push that content on my monetized channel, and that's it. And for the longest time, I didn't want to create a faith only channel because I just felt like starting over would be such a big step. And it wasn't until recently that I said, why not? If this is for me, God will reach the people that it needs to reach. And again, that is us just being consistent and just waiting on God to do the things that he said he's going to do. And that's all we can do. Why do you think Joseph declared he'd be sinning against God and not against Potiphar's wife? I don't think when he really looked at it, Joseph thought that this was a sin against Potiphar's wife because it's something that she ultimately wanted and pursued relentlessly. The devotion says that on several occasions, relentlessly pursues it. It's just something that when you have morals, when you have a standard for yourself, you know, you're not the one that's getting let down. You feel like you're letting God down. If anybody who's watching this has ever made a change, or maybe you decided to stop procrastinating, maybe you decided to stop drinking, stop smoking, stop masturbating, whatever the case may be. Whenever you broke that streak that you were on, you felt like you let yourself down. You felt like you failed the mission. And I think where Joseph is right now, he's on a streak of just killing it. Like, he's working hard, he's relentless and tireless in his efforts to just become better at what he's doing, so much that Potiphar has elevated him to the highest rank that he could possibly have. And here goes a system where he has the opportunity to break his streak. And to break the streak is to go against the things that God has blessed, because it says that God was with him and blessed everything that he touched. So to go against that streak is like, why would I go against everything that's being blessed and being touched in my favor? Why would I go against that? So that's what I got for today. Let me know what you think in the comments below. But let's get into the verse of the day. And again, this is not me telling you what it is. This is just my thoughts. I could be way off. I could be wrong, but this is how I'm thinking about things. This is my understanding of what I'm reading. But that's why I'm so curious to know what are your thoughts and what is your understanding. And so let's go into the verse, Genesis 39, verse 7. It says, "And Potiphar's wife soon began to look at him lustfully. 'Come and sleep with me,' she demanded. But Joseph refused. 'Look,' he told her, 'my masters trust me with everything in his entire household. No one here has more authority than I do. He has held back nothing from me except you, because you are his wife. How could I do such a wicked thing? It would be a great sin against God.' She kept putting pressure on Joseph day after day, but he refused to sleep with her, and he kept her out of her way as much as possible. One day, however, no one else was around when she went to do his work. She came and grabbed him by his cloak, demanding, "Come on, sleep with me." Joseph tore himself away, but he left his cloak in her arms and ran away from the house. When she saw that she was holding his cloak and he had fled, she called out to her servants. Soon all the men came running. "Look," she said, "my husband has brought this Hebrew slave here to make fools of us. He came into my room to rape me, but I screamed. When he heard me scream, he ran outside and got away, but he left his cloak behind with me." She kept the cloak with her until her husband came home. Then she told him her story. "That Hebrew slave you brought into our house tried to come in and fool around with me," she said. "But when I screamed, he ran outside, leaving his cloak with me." Potiphar was furious when he heard his wife's story about how Joseph had treated her. So he took Joseph and threw him into the prison where the king's prisoners were held, and there he remained. So that's the verse for today. Just going over the story a little bit more. Again, if you're interested, there's a link in the description that takes you right to the Bible plan, takes you right to the Bible app. Join it, become my friend on the Bible app. Join our group discussion on this devotion and the things that God is talking to us and wanting us to grasp in this message about Joseph and his story. And we love to hear from you. We love to see you. We love to connect with you. If you're not comfortable with that, like, share, subscribe, write comments down below, and we'll talk about them in the comment section. But hope you guys enjoyed today, day 5. I will see you in the next one. Keep mastering. God bless. Let's go.